Connected to iPhone. Connected to Galaxy Tab A2016.
The internet dating or here with somebody they have met on
Boozy.
Harming me. I have been on that side. I've been on Okay Stupid. And then I've also been on Attach.glom. And I have to be honest, I used
Just
to lie.
adding more detail to the
I used to
cover
act
of the
like I was
book.
more active
Trying
on
to get
those
this
sides.
hand right here to have a little more
Trying to
highlights
make
like that
everybody
one.
like me. Yeah, look, guys, I can lace up a tutu and go to the steakhouse, and I can strap us both on a boxcar and ride the rails. No, I work hard. I play hard. I'll rest when I'm dead. I'll rest when I'm dead. No, I'll never be that guy. Oh. Got your passport? Let's go parasail glide biking in Rio Guam Kwai. But the truth is, my current ad reads, I can wear the same outfit for 5 days, or I can crouch naked in the shower and get real small. I sleep hard. I dream harder.
I know that's right.
I'm on like Bumble and stuff. We're just lazy with dating, man. A lot of my buddies are like, get off Bumble, man. Get off Bumble. Why is like the friends who already have girlfriends the ones who are saying, you don't need it? He's like, you don't need it, man. I'm like, no, you don't need it. I need it. I fucking need it. We're so lazy with like dating though. Like we don't really do anything. This is like a story. Literally the other day I was in my kitchen and I was on Bumble and I was just sitting there just like waiting for like a Hot Pocket or something and like just swiping. I came across this beautiful woman. Gorgeous. I clicked her picture. Looked at all 5 photos, okay? I went to her bio. Read the whole thing. It had her Instagram handle. Went to her Instagram. And I was looking through there. I'm like, this girl is perfect with the same interests. She likes outdoors and rocks. She lives in a house. She has a friend. And I go back to Bumble and I swipe her right and we don't match. And then out loud I literally said, well, I tried. Not really, man. I just double-clicked a thumb. That's all I did. I switched an app. We don't try anymore, man. Like our grandparents, they used to try, man. My grandpa went to war when he was 19, dating my grandma. And once a month he could write a letter back to my grandma. He'd write her back once a month. Dearest Agnes. It's a great name, isn't it? Dearest Agnes, war is hell, but the thought of you keeps me going on. Love, Thomas. Sent. That's October. November. Dearest Agnes, war is still hell. I got separated from my platoon, had to hide in the body of a dead horse to stay warm overnight. The thought of you keeps me going on. Love, Thomas. Right? Like, that's trying, dude. That's trying's not being like, yo, you guys got Wi-Fi here? No? Not dating today then, I guess. Have a good one.
I stopped online dating. Don't like it. Now I just date the old-fashioned way. I just walk outside and hope. That's how people used to date before online dating. You would just put makeup on and go outside and be like, ta-da! I hope it's today. That's all they had to do. They don't have to swipe or make a profile or anything. So much easier. It's nice to not swipe. If I don't like something now, I just look away. That's my swipe. I just go, ugh. I dated a guy who emojied too much. It was so gross. He emojied every text, had a stupid face on it. You know how annoying that is? That's like talking to a guy and after every sentence he's like...
Okay, so I'm gonna open up to you guys a little bit. You cool with that? Alright, so I tried online dating for the first time ever. And I joined JDate. It's a Jewish dating site, because I'm a J. And what's really kind of fucked up about JDate, and I swear this is actually true, is that when you join JDate, you can't use your name as your profile. JDate gives you some random, like, 7-digit number, and surely there is a better way to identify Jews than this. How did no one notice this at JDate HQ? What are you gonna fucking tattoo it on our arm? Like, we're a little sensitive about this, but you great people in stars, how the fuck did no one catch this? How did no one pick up on this? That site sucks. I met no one. It's as barren as the desert we came from.
Trying to online date. It's the worst thing you'll ever voluntarily do to yourself. I'm trying to online date. I'm using OkCupid. I use OkCupid because it's free. Trying to find my soulmate. Don't want to spend a lot. Don't want to flash a lot of cash. It's really funny, like, starting the process of online dating. Like, you really see the differences in levels of fear going into it between men and women. Like, it's so radically disproportionate. Like, guys' number one fear with online dating is you're going to show up to the date and the girl's not going to look exactly like her photo, right? That's generally the fear guys have, right? She'll be a bit bigger, right? It's okay. Women's number one fear is that they're going to be murdered. It's radically disproportionate that is. Guys are just like, I hope she's not an uggo. Women are like, I hope my head's still with me at the end of this date. Like, women like are put in this crazy scenario where they have to look at a guy's photos online and just be like, a murderer wouldn't go hiking. Yes, they would. They totally do all the time on their way back from a murder in the desert. That's the photo you see, is them next to the dog that helped bury the bitch. They're just like, love this guy. He's with me for life. Half the time when I email people, I'm just trying to say I'm not a murderer. Like, that's all you're trying to say the first couple interactions. Like, my profile picture is just a pile of guns and knives, and me being like, no, boo, like, they stink. I've gone on two. I've gone on 2 online dates. I haven't gone on any more, because both times the girl that showed up, totally nice, super sweet, real fucking beaches, but easily like 60 pounds bigger than their profile pictures. Yeah, like, that's fine. Like, I understand the fear that went into that decision, but that has happened both times. That's happened twice. If that happens a third time, I'm gonna murder that girl. And then we'll both be right.
I just got an iPhone 6 years after everyone else did, and there was an app I just found on there. I like spent 6 hours just looking at apps because it's amazing what's on there, and I found one called Blender, which is, you know what Blender is? Did you meet her on Blender? No, yeah, of course. Allow me to divulge in what just happened here. Divulge wasn't the proper word. I'm just giving myself a note on that. Please nobody else call me out on that. Okay, so Blender's a spin-off of Grindr, and Grindr, for those of you who don't know and live in West Hollywood, is an app where you turn on, you literally gives you a Google map of other guys, like it'll drop the red pins of who else is out and wants to DTF, like right there. It's amazing. You literally will turn it on, you're just like, oh my god, there's a guy who wants a blowjob 2 blocks away, but I can do like a full-on fuck session 4 blocks away. Like, what do I do? That's amazing technology. No one else is blown away by that. I think that's phenomenal. So Blender's the straight version of that, and the reason you haven't heard of it is because there's no single woman at home going, I'm out of options, I better let a stranger into my house to fuck me. That seems like the safe thing to do. If she turned on that screen, it wouldn't be a few red pins, it would just be a red blanket of single men just looking. And God forbid she's the red dot, it would just be little red dots closing in on her, like that scene in Aliens. And you just see guys walking around the street going, no, sorry to bother you. Just navigating the street, walking all over each other.
I used to do online dating. Anyone do online dating? Yes, one lone person is like, I used to do an online dating site called OkCupid. Do you guys know about this shit? Okay, for those of you that don't know, OkCupid is the ghettomatch.com. Do you know what makes it ghetto? It's free. At least Match.com charges you $30 a month. OkCupid is for the losers that are like, I want to get laid, but I don't have any money. Okay, Cupid. It's right there in the name. It's not Good Cupid or Great Cupid. It's okay. It's all right. Everything's embarrassing about online dating. First of all, you have to find a picture of yourself where you don't look too shitty. Right? Which for me is a problem because I have this gigantic Korean face. Like, I'm not a big person, but somehow in all the photos, I'm like, It's ridiculous. I have an hourglass figure that starts at the top of my head. She is so curvy, that girl. I am single, but I did go on a date recently. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I went on a date. I decided that I like this guy, and next time I see him, I'm gonna fuck him. Yeah, I wrote it down. I actually put it in my date book. I did. I wrote it into my calendar. And I feel like I'm maturing and growing as an adult because I never used to plan when I was gonna have sex. Right? When I was younger, I would always just be like, I'm so drunk. Whoa, there's a dick in me. Whoa, what's happening there? Hi, I'm Helen. Welcome to South Korea. You guys have been great. My name is Helen Hong. Thank you so much.
Now, you are going on eHarmony now, is it? Or JDate? What is it?
Well, I did do JDate.
Match.com?
No, JDate. I actually literally...
JDate, just because you've got a little Jewish blood in you.
Well, yeah, I figured it's like a superpower. Why not use it? You know what I'm saying? Like, if, you know.
But didn't work?
It's so much work. No, I mean, I met one girl and she was nuts. I had sex a couple times, but God, all the message writing and...
On JDate you had sex?
Not on the actual website. The web, you know.
So you met up with her?
I met up with her. Yeah, she.
But this kind of cuts to the chase, though. You know, you find out, you see a picture of them. It's usually a good picture, and when you see them in person, it's not as good, right?
Here's my lesson for Facebook, online dating, whatever. You know, people will have typically like 10 photos on there. The worst photo of them, the worst one, that's how they actually look. Yeah, they're all nasty. They have bags in their eyes, like you fat. And that's them. That's the date you're going on.
I like to see the avatars on Twitter, the little pictures, you know, the little pictures of the girls.
Yeah.
Because a lot of them, they're the original pictures them with their boyfriend, but they cut the boyfriend out.
Oh yeah.
To put up there because it would be
There's
like
just like
the picture.
some phantom hover hand on the left.
Yeah. Exactly right.
You're like, who's the arm?
Yeah.
Right
But
there.
you know that they love that picture of themselves.
Oh, they do. Women love photos of themselves.
It's like some of them like change their picture like every week
Really?
on the avatar on Twitter.
It's like on the MacBook, they have it set to a new image
really?
of myself every day.
Oh, that's crazy, man.
I love women so much. You guys are just fantastic, really. I mean, you know, if I didn't...
You look like the kind of guy that would really appreciate a woman.
I really appreciate a woman.
Yeah.
Yeah. My comedian website is appreciateswomen.tv. Join the mailing list.
You probably get to like a restaurant with a woman, a glass of wine, and just stare at her and say, "You are absolutely gorgeous."
I do. And then I say, "You're paying for this, right?"
Well, it sounds like you've studied a lot of psychology.
I've just gone out with
Psychos?
women that don't have dads, so kind of the same thing.
That should be a website. Women who don't have dads.
Date.com.
Single people, you guys here? I'm not gonna try to fuck you. Like, I'm just asking. Alright, cool. Online dating, who's doing it? And nobody wants to admit it. Like, this is like Tinder Central. I know 50% of you guys are like Tinder hookups, 25% like Craigslist. It's alright, man. Like, Tinder, that's cool. I don't like Match. Like, don't do it. Don't pay for the website. It sucks because, like, you'll see a cute face and you'll be like, oh, that's nice. Well, fuck it. And then, like, you'll read the profile and you're like, ugh. Like, check this one out. I'll show it to you guys. Cute girl. I'll give her that. Cute girl. There's a real profile on Match.com, where I'm from. All right, in her headline she says, I know what I want. Well, fuck, let's find out. First of all, she's looking for a dude between the heights of 6 foot and 6'1". The fuck is that? Is that a mattress issue? Is that the tallest dude that fits on a twin bed? Is that... What the fuck is that inch? Next time I thought she was cool, she's like, job, no preference. I'm like, okay, my type. Till the line after that, you gotta make over $100,000. So she doesn't give a shit what you do. Just make $100,000 and she'll bang you. Education, no preference. You can be dumb as shit, just make $100,000 and she'll bang you. Language, no preference. You don't even need to speak English. Just make $100,000.
I like online dating. That shit is fun as fuck. If you online date, clap. Online daters, clap. Hell yeah. Yeah, it's more than that. I saw some of you on Tinder, so it's way more than that. Stop. But you got to a date, you don't swipe no more. Shut up, all right? People always get so quiet when you ask them about online dating. Like, it's 2017. Everything is online. You can pay your bills online. You can shop online. You can fuck online if you're really that good. Like, that shit is good too. Like, but anytime you say date online, people get tight. Like, oh, I'm gonna make somebody crazy. Bitch, you crazy. Shut the fuck up. Like, get your crazy ass online, meet another crazy motherfucker. Y'all just be happy and crazy together. I love online dating. There's too many sites. Y'all being lazy. Come on now. eHarmony, Match.com, Cupid, Black People Meet, Bumble, Tinder. Come on. What's the stupid Farmers Only? What the fuck is that? What the fuck is that? Farmers Only? How the fuck they even get internet? How the fuck are we? My Wi-Fi goes out every time I pass through Carbondale. How the fuck are they? How the fuck are you on? When is Comcast going out to Barnes hooking up Wi-Fi? Like, when the fuck? Who's hooking this shit up? But FarmersOnly.com, they got the best commercial. Do y'all see they play it every night at 2 a.m.? You don't have to be lonely at FarmersOnly.com. Amazing. When the remix come out? That shit is so good. You been singing that shit at work, you ain't even got no barn, bitch. You don't have to be lonely at FarmersOnly.com.
I don't need new fears at this stage in the game. You know, I don't need to turn it on and see, you know, is your Uber driver a serial killer? What? We'll break it down tonight at 11. Fucking great, man. I'm about to get in one. You think we can bump that story up to 8:30?
I used to do a lot of online dating. I was on a dating app called Uber. First of all, the man has a car. It's half the battle, you know? And he's picking you up, so chivalry is not dead. Not yet, it's getting there.
First of all, I want to say fuck Uber. Right, fuck them. Probably a lot of you call it Uber here, but fuck them. Now, I took an Uber once, and I will never take one again. Right, I was trying to show off when I took it. I didn't really know what Uber was about, but it sounded cool. So I was around my friends, I was like, man, I'm about to order Uber. Go on, they're like, dude, what the fuck is that? I'm like, you don't know shit about this. But it turns out I didn't know shit about Uber. Because I did not know it was people driving you in their own personal vehicle. Right. Dude picked me up in a smart car. The whole ride, he right here, the whole ride. I couldn't even get in the back seat. My friends thought I was hanging out with him. When I got in the car, I heard somebody say, I bet he voted for Trump. I bet he did. I'm like, cabs, man. Hey, this Uber driver, he was following the rules of the road, coming to complete stops and stop signs. The light turned yellow, he slowed down. I'm sitting next to him like, gun it, what the fuck are you doing? Oh. Like, cabs, man. I I took a cab from the south side of Chicago to O'Hare Airport, 15 minutes, rush hour traffic. It was a traffic jam. He jumped on the L track like, don't worry about it, I know this schedule. I'm sitting in the back like, ride this motherfucker, Habib. Shit. I love you. Fucking Uber. The Uber driver talking to me the whole ride. I'm like, dude, would you make a phone call in a loud foreign language so I can feel comfortable, please? Fuck. Right.
I didn't like being single though. I was on every dating app. My favorite dating app, of course, was Lyft and Uber. I'm a big fan. If you guys don't know what Lyft or Uber is, it's when a dude who used to be a surgeon in his country picks you up and drives you somewhere for very cheap. I like Lyft and Uber because I can finally afford to like send a girl a car, which 10 years ago was a P. Diddy only move. It was a Diddy exclusive. But the way that P. Diddy did it, it was cool. He was like, hey girl, send me an address. I'm gonna send you a Bentley. You're gonna get inside, go all the way up to my penthouse where we can see the city, cause you with Diddy. It was cool. It's a cool move. It's a Diddy move. But now I can do it as Neil Nanda. I can be like, hey girl, send me your cross streets. I'm gonna send you an 02 Honda Accord. It's gonna have a pink mustache, you can't miss it. You're gonna get inside, the driver's name is Vidorko. He used to be a surgeon in Mongolia. But now he's in a band. I'm gonna drive past 8 homeless dudes to my studio apartment, where you're gonna immediately regret being there. Wish you were back in that Honda, cause you with Neil Nanda.
Look, let me tell you something. I was working for Uber and Lyft, okay? And I am so glad to report I no longer do that shit. Oh my God. Hallelujah. Because I was going to slap one of y'all in my back seat. Oh, especially people that ride Uber. Do you hear me? Uber people get in my car with all the requests. Do me a favor, turn the GPS off. I'll tell you where to go, okay? Roll the window up 3/4 of the way down. I need medium air on my forehead when I'm on my way to a meeting. Do me a favor, turn the radio on 102.758. I like classical jazz hip hop on the way and be going 3 blocks. Bitch, get your $1.31 ride ass out of here. When Uber take their fee, your ride costs 99 cents. You know what I'm saying? Uber people get in my car drinking up all the free water, eating up all the peppermint. That is for my Lyft passengers that tip. God damn it. There's a lot of Uber riders over here, okay? Oh, I'm about to tell y'all how y'all do, okay? Oh my, because I was already pulling up to the job pissed off, first of all, because they got me with them commercials. You can make $1,400 a week driving for Uber and Lyft when you want to. Oh, you can make the money, yes you can, if you're going to live in a car all week, okay? Because you about to be driving from sun up to sun up, okay? You're going to have 15 cups of coffee, 500 donuts, and you're going to make the money, but you're going to die the next day with your blood pressure 1,600 over 480, okay? And then they still gonna need to refer somebody for that $500 to make the 1,400 for the week. And then after you refer somebody, then you're gonna have to turn into a life coach so you can get their ass out on the streets. Oh, they slave driving you and you out there slave driving, okay? Because that is some long hours right there.
First of all, how long have you guys been pals? So 2 months of friendship. So that's interesting. I don't get to meet a lot of dudes past the age of 12 that have been friends for only 2 months. Where do you meet a dude where it's just a 2-month friendship at this stage in life? So where did this whole relationship begin? Oh hell yeah. Dude, that's very 2016 of you guys. By the way, those applauses are coming from everyone who's fucked up tonight, thankful that they have a ride home. Thank God I got a way home that's not me. Thank God it's not me tonight, and it's hot cock. Like, if I got in your car, what would your first thing you would say to me be? Nice shirt. Yeah, for sure. Now, sir, I don't know what gave you the impression that me looking this way made you think I was talking to you. But how much weed did you smoke and where can I get some of it? Is my next question. But I'll take it from here, man. Uber. You were driving, you were sitting in the back seat, right? What was exchanged that made you get out and go, I think we should keep in touch? You know what I'm saying? There has to be a moment. Like, dudes, first of all, you guys are dudes, so that already says to me, you don't need much, because dudes don't need much to be exchanged. Very little information. It's just like, dude, you like sports? What? Dude, I love sports. Are you, dude, that is, dude, do you like food? Are you serious? Dude, I love food. Dude, what is happening right now? We are really connecting. This is crazy. This is crazy. Are we dudes? I think we're dudes. That's why it's so easy.
Everybody takes Uber and Lyft these days. I feel sorry for cab drivers. I bet they're trying to trick people. Like, no, there's Uber, yeah. It's Uber. Like, why is your car yellow? Fucking, don't worry about it. Get in. Everybody takes Uber and Lyft because it's slightly cheaper than a cab. But what you save in money, you pay for in conversation with the driver. Right? Nothing is free. You'll be halfway through your trip and be like, you know, I guess I never really did get over my parents' divorce. You can let me out here. I have a lot of thinking to do. The crazy thing is, like, people will talk to their Lyft driver all day, like up and down, they'll talk to them. But if your cab driver was like, what do you do for work? You'd be like, enough with the chit chat, Ahmed. Trying to get some work done. It's a double standard. Talk to Ahmed. He's had an interesting life. You might learn a thing or two. You know, I'd be like, you know, we were able to escape to Pakistan. I evaded gunfire. I lived in the ditch for 6 months, surviving on beetles. You know. That's like some Bear Grylls shit. You're like, oh, I had no idea, Ahmed. That's crazy. It's like, yeah, I cannot. Beetles, they freak me out now. I cannot eat any more beetles. I get it, man. I get it. You talk to your Lyft driver, he's like, then the band had creative differences. That sounds really difficult, Chad. It was. Because Dylan wanted to go solo, and he was the heart of the band. Did you ever think that one day your cab drivers would just be random people with free time on their hands?
Yo.
Never. How do you...
Has anybody ever ridden in an Uber? Or has anyone ever driven Uber? You joke, like I don't know. I've never done that. I've barely ever taken cabs, but I did live in Philly for a while, so I was all about like buses and the subway for a couple years. But I don't know, it's just something about cabs that always kind of freak me out, really. And never been in an Uber. It is like kind of weird just like hopping in a car with somebody, bitch, I don't fucking know you. I'll rent a car at the airport. I don't need a cab, you know? Yeah, exactly, dude. Like, I've never, I don't know. Like, I'm trying to really, really think, like, how many times I've ever taken a cab somewhere. Maybe, like, once or twice ever in life, yo. And that was, like, younger years, like, on some young boy shit, trying to get across town for some pussy or something. But I just was, I don't know. I'm from South Carolina, yo. It's like, so soon as there, and I'm from an area that's like not really rural, but it ain't really urban. It's far from urban. Motherfucker, you ain't got no car, you ain't going nowhere. You know what I'm saying? In my hometown, honestly, my hometown got, when I was growing up, we had like 4 elementary schools, one middle school, one high school. That's it. Our town was a little small town. There wasn't like 5 or 6 major cab companies that were running 24 hours a day, man. We had like 1 or 2 cab services, and them motherfuckers had days off and hours that they ain't running. Like motherfuckers, everybody just had cars. I've had a car. I got my license at 16. I just been driving forever. Exactly, yo. Like, don't get in the car with strangers, you know. If someone calls you somewhere, don't follow them. And oh yeah, exactly. That's the main thing, yo. Don't talk to strangers. Definitely don't tell strangers your name or where you live, and definitely don't get in the car. Don't get in the car with somebody you don't fucking know. But he said he has ice cream. It don't matter. You don't get in the car with strangers. But now it's like, are you my Uber driver? It said so. You get right in the fucking car with this motherfucker. I don't know. Yeah, I've never done that shit. But it, like, like I say, all these jokes, these motherfuckers are bugging. Yo, there's all kind of paint on the back of this picture that's getting on my hands. Damn it. Yeah. Uber and Lyft.
Do you not know that one day your house won't be on fire and some 21-year-old kid with a smartphone will show up like, hey, what's up, I'm your firefighter? I was the closest one to the blaze. Don't worry, stand back, I brought a super soaker. Everything's under control. I'm getting a lot of pressure, this is good. I'm gonna be honest, the fire's a lot bigger than I thought it would be. Oh fuck, it's Dylan, the band's getting back together. Sweet. Good luck with the fire, bro. The biggest problem I think with Uber and Lyft is that it's made getting into random cars so commonplace, right? You'll get into a truck, you'll get into an SUV, you'll get into a smart car. When you got into a cab, you knew you were getting into a cab. Like, people don't even really look for the mustache anymore. Like, I could take my car tonight and just go to a bar at 2 a.m. Just be like, hey, somebody get an Uber? Some drunk guy would be like, hey, I'll catch you guys later, it's here. Yeah, take me.
That's, yo.
I can just drive. Like, people don't even really look for.
Ain't that some shit? You can just drive up to a bar at 2 a.m. Somebody got an Uber? And, like, exactly, like, what the fuck, yo? I'm not getting in the car with you, dude.
The mustache anymore. Like, I could take my car tonight and just go to a bar at 2 a.m. Just be like, hey, somebody get an Uber? Some drunk guy would be like, hey, I'll catch you guys later, it's here. Yeah, take me. I can just drive to the woods and murder this guy. He would just be in his phone all the time. Wait, this isn't West Hollywood.
I can take my car and go to a bar tonight. Like, yeah, somebody got an Uber. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, but now, like you say,
it's about a time when
we were taught as kids to be leery of strangers, and now we're teaching our kids it's okay to just, you know, there's somebody who's gonna take you to school. They're gonna drop you off at your auntie's house. Are you sure? Are you sure they're gonna drop them off at auntie's house? The world is changing. Society is changing. Everyone is for everyone. No privacy. You're just assume we know people because of their digital selves, their digital ID. These motherfuckers are in person. What's the big story? What's the big story in the news? Yo, a reporter, a Saudi Arabian. I guess he was a naturalized. I mean, what do you call it? Naturalized citizen or some shit like that? No. What is it? But I think he had gained American citizenship. Or am I wrong? Let me look that shit up. But they're saying that some fucking reporter or journalist got fucking assassinated. Yo, my homeboy, I was kicking it with him earlier today. And he was telling me about that shit. He's like, yo, he's watching the news about the assassination. I'm like, huh? He's like, yo, Trump's coming at Saudi Arabia. I was like, wait, whoa. I ain't seen nothing on that shit yet. See, that's what I'm saying. I don't really gotta watch a lot of news myself, because the people I know be in on this shit. They be...
This event is for people that want to get into real estate.
It wasn't just, here's how to flip a house.
Yeah, motherfuckers I fuck with stay up on shit, and they put me up on shit. Y'all keep me informed about stuff, so goddamn, I don't have to watch too much myself.
The New York Times says Jamal Khashoggi was murdered inside the Saudi consulate in Istanbul. Turkish media have published pictures of what they say are the agents sent to kill him, but the Saudis insist he left the building. So what happened to Khashoggi? This is Inside Story. Hello and welcome to the program. I'm Huda Abdelhamid. On the afternoon of Tuesday, October 2nd, Jamal Khashoggi walked into the Saudi Arabian consulate in Istanbul. His fiancée, who was waiting for him outside, says he in a second, Jamal... Hello and welcome to the program. I'm Huda Abdelhamid. On the afternoon of Tuesday, October 2nd, Jamal...
October the 2nd? That's fucking 17 days ago? How old are these stories? How old is the reports that are coming out? Oh, this comes from the 10th, published on October the 10th. Oh, so I'm a fucking week late. I thought my man was telling me about some new shit. It is new to me.
Khashoggi walked into the Saudi Arabian consulate in Istanbul. His fiancée, who was waiting for him outside, says he never came out. Now we know more about what may have happened. We have a lot to discuss with our guests, but first, this report with the latest from Stephanie Decker in Istanbul.
Turkish sources say these men arrived at Istanbul airport with a mission to either abduct or kill Jamal Khashoggi. They flew into Istanbul on the same day the Saudi journalist was due to return to the consulate to finalize some paperwork. They are suspected to have been inside the consulate when Khashoggi entered the building around 1:15 local time on the afternoon of the 2nd of October. A Turkish newspaper has published the pictures and the names of the 15 Saudi nationals that the Turks say were part of a so-called Saudi hit squad. The New York Times goes into further detail, quoting an anonymous senior Turkish official, saying Ankara believes Khashoggi was killed inside the consulate at the orders of the highest level of the Saudi royal court. Then gruesome detail that Khashoggi was killed within 2 hours of this moment, and that his body was dismembered by the Saudi team with a bone saw. In what seems to be a deluge of leaks, the Washington Post then divulging that before his disappearance, U.S. intelligence intercepted communications of Saudi officials discussing possibly detaining Jamal Khashoggi. It is unclear whether he was ever warned.
I'm very surprised that one would confirm this by letting information out. Now, the fact what has been intercepted is also Yeah, big plans for this planet. Notable, because if true, and there now seem to be increasing disparate bits of information, I'm very surprised.
Moment, and that his body was dismembered by the Saudi team with a bone saw. In what seems to be a deluge of leaks, the Washington Post then divulging that before his disappearance, U.S. intelligence intercepted communications of Saudi officials discussing possibly detaining Jamal Khashoggi. It is unclear whether he was ever warned.
I'm very surprised that one would confirm this by
possibly detaining Jamal. In what seems to be a deluge of leaks, the Washington Post then divulging that before his disappearance, U.S. intelligence intercepted communications of Saudi officials discussing possibly detaining Jamal Khashoggi. It is unclear whether he was ever warned.
I'm very surprised that one would confirm this by letting information out. Now, the fact what has been intercepted is also notable, because if true, and there now seem to be increasing disparate bits of information that corroborate or substantiate the other pieces of information, it would be a shocking act and a grotesquely glaring one, which therefore, for an intelligence operation, would be really incompetent to lure someone into your own consulate and then murder the person, and while you know that your entrances and exits are all being videoed, is astounding, really.
All this new information seems to be an orchestrated attempt by the Turkish authorities to ramp up the pressure on Saudi Arabia. No Turkish official has officially gone on camera, and no evidence has been presented to back up those allegations. This is a story with major political sensitivities. Khashoggi's fiancée, Hatice Cengiz, is seen here waiting for her fiancé outside the consulate. And she's written in the Washington Post, the U.S. paper Khashoggi contributed to, pleading with the U.S. president to clarify what happened to her fiancé and asking the Saudis to release security camera footage. She says she doesn't want to believe that he's been killed. Stephanie Decker, Al Jazeera, Istanbul.
Pulp Fiction, that's how a Turkish official is describing the Khashoggi saga. Well, to discuss more, we have our guest. Joining us from Washington, D.C. is Ali Al-Ahmed, director of the Gulf Affairs Institute and a former political prisoner in Saudi Arabia. In London, joining us on Skype, Chris Phillips, the former head of the National Counter-Terrorism Security Office in the UK, and Sabah Al-Khuzair, he is a lecturer at the City of Bristol College in the UK. Welcome to all of you. Ali Al-Ahmed, let me start with you. The New York Times claims that actually Khashoggi was killed inside the consulate and that those orders came from the highest levels of the royal court. How credible is that for you?
I'm not sure yet about if he was killed or kidnapped. But it's true, it's very clear to us after the releasing of the 15 member, the names of this team, that 2 of them at least are personal bodyguards of Mohammed bin Salman, the crown prince. So this is, looks to me from looking at the names that this was not even an intelligence operation, because this is a hodgepodge of some bodyguards here and some doctor from the Minister of the Interior and some other people who even one of them works in the special forces in the army. So this was not an intelligence professional operation, and I think that's why they have a lot of evidence and they didn't do a good job. But we don't know if this was a murder. I would assume this was more of a kidnap attempt that went wrong if it did go wrong. But if it was a murder, then again, this is like what the Turkish government said came from Mohammed bin Salman. Absolutely, there is no doubt about that.
Well, it has to be underlined, as you said, that most of the information we have so far, which is day 8 since when Jamal Khashoggi went into the consulate, is coming to us through the media. We haven't heard any official version yet. But Sabah Al-Khuzair, one fact is that there is a 15-member team that arrived from Saudi Arabia to Istanbul in the early hours of the morning of that day, October 2nd. Another also route that came out today is that the Washington Post is saying that is citing U.S. intelligence services as saying that they had actually intercepted communication between Saudis discussing the capture of Jamal Khashoggi. Why is Jamal Khashoggi was such a concern for the Saudi royal family?
First of all, there is no fact at all from this all poor fabricated stories and intelligence, information. The only fact is Jamal Khashoggi disappeared. Where is he? God knows. I hope and I pray to God that he is still alive.
When you say fabricated, what is fabricated? It's true that so far there is no official version, but why do you say it's a fabricated story?
Well, if you listen to me, if you let me continue, you will see what I'm going to say. I don't trust the Washington Post. I don't trust the New York Times. The same newspapers back in 1991, before the invasion of Iraq, they have sexed up, exaggerated, prefabricated all the stories against Iraq, and even the Colin Powell theatrical play in the United Nations.
Okay, but let's talk about this case here.
Just imagine, let me finish, please. And back in 12th of August 2004, this is what happened. The Washington Post apologizes for underplaying WMD skepticism. They say that we were more concerned getting stories first than getting stories right. And their mottos at that time, we are going to war, why we are even worried about all this contrary stuff. And exactly the same thing is happening now. The same thing is happening now.
How can you be sure of that?
Stories are fabricated because this is history.
Okay, now, we're not talking about then, we're talking about now.
Saudi Arabia, there is no history in Saudi Arabia kills or assassinates opponent or dissidents, except two famous countries, Israel and Iran. Saudi Arabia, no. How stupid is to kill a dissident or opponent inside the embassy? And the funny things, there are 20 to 30 people involved.
Well,
may I remind you,
certainly over the past few years, there has been many stories of people being detained and people being charged without any proof in Saudi Arabia. There's all these, there have been many stories lately. Didn't go as far as killing, but if I remember well, there was also Yes?
No. Don't mix the issues, please, Huda.
Okay.
Between internal and external affairs. Internal affairs, this is another completely different matter.
But Jamal Khashoggi is a Saudi citizen.
If you go to, that's good. If you go to Google machine, searching machine, and put, any assassination or abduction in an embassy, you never see. There is nothing whatsoever. This is the first time. And from where? From Saudi Arabia. This is false. And 20 to 30 people involved. In Salisbury poisoning, Skripal, it's only 2 Russian involved. Okay. How stupid and how odd is the Saudis' intelligence? 20 to 30 people? No way.
Well,
I don't believe in that. I don't take it at all.
Okay, let's call now on the expertise of Chris here. I mean, now the Turkish authorities are saying that they're going to get access to the consulate in...
Motherfucker basically said, look, man, the U.S. motherfucking propaganda machine is known for fucking lying and over-exaggerating shit just to keep motherfucking hype and keep people on edge for that shocking awe factor. It's like, I ain't believing this damn story. Who in the hell gonna kill somebody inside a goddamn embassy? It makes kind of sense, you know what I'm saying, when you think about it. But at the same time, ain't no damn telling what motherfuckers do now in these crazy ass days. They say you got cameras, you can see who the fuck going in and going out.
Istanbul, but it's 8 days later, maybe 9, they still haven't gone in. And they also asked for access to the residence of the general consul. At this stage, will they be able to find anything?
Well, of course, any investigation like this, the time is crucial. The earlier that you get access to a crime scene, whatever that crime is, whether or not it's an abduction or whether it's an assassination, we don't know yet, to be quite fair. But of course, the police need to get access to that, and whether it's forensics or other parts of the investigation, it's really important to get early access. Now, 8-9 days later, items could have been cleaned, the area could have been cleaned up, and it would be more difficult for them to get evidence. I think there's so much to this case that I don't think it could be more difficult for the Turkish authorities to conduct an investigation. It's in a location which is effectively another country. And what access they get, who are they allowed to get take into that building time will tell. But without the full forensic investigation, then we won't know. And as you say, time really matters, and evidence is lost over time.
Well, and Chris, when you read about all what's being reported these days, did anything really strike you, or any details strike you the most in all of this? Did anything maybe made your mind in one direction or the other?
Well, the whole point of an investigation is that you keep your mind open, and it could, of course, be there could be lots of different stories around this. I imagine there's a lot that's known under the surface through intelligence agencies that's not being given to the media at the moment, and that will probably steer the authorities in one direction or another. I mean, none of us know. Without some evidence, none of us know, and all that we've got at the moment is a man has disappeared, and he's disappeared from inside an embassy, which is unprecedented. And you just wouldn't like to think that any country in the world would do something like that. But of course, you've got to keep your mind open, and people die all the time, and if the investigation is allowed to go its course, then we will have a better chance of knowing what's happened.
Okay, and Ali, I was watching you nod in disagreement earlier. What do you want to say?
Well, I want to say that the pictures of the 15 Saudis coming into Istanbul and that day is a fact. We have their pictures when they got into Turkey, and when they get their visa, and we have their names of their passport. So we have those pictures, and we have their names on Saudi TV or in Saudi media. The same people, the same faces. One or two of them are members of MBS's personal royal guards. One of them, Zahrani, is his bodyguard. So what makes? So how can you have the bodyguard of MBS in Istanbul at that day, going into the embassy and leaving in these private jets that went to Riyadh via Egypt and UAE? These are facts. These are not fabrications. So, what does that say to you? Why these people are there? Okay, what's fact? Their pictures are there. I have looked at the pictures. I have looked at the airline or these two jets. I have records. Companies who monitor the flight path of these two airplanes that are chartered by the Saudi Ministry of Defense, that HZ-KS1 and HZ-KS2. These are the plane, and we have videos of these planes. So this is an established fact. There's videos, pictures, names. This is a fact, and the man disappeared. This is a fact. So I mean, how can you explain the presence of 15 Saudis in the consulate that day? What is the answer to that? Okay. The Saudis have kidnapped people before, and they have killed people inside the country. So let me finish. I didn't cut you off. So the Saudis did kidnap Nasser Said famously from Beirut, and his fate has never been known. He's probably killed. And they have assassinated, Saudi Arabia has a death squad that they have killed protesters, even young ones. So this is nothing new. Yes, because other countries like Iran and Israel and Syria does it, it's not, Saudi Arabia is not going to do it because it's a crazy idea. People do that. The thing is the person who detains an elected head of a government, Saad al-Hariri, I don't think this is beyond him to kill a dissident in the embassy, because sometimes power makes you do crazy things, and this is exactly what we are seeing. We have the mad king of Saudi Arabia making these decisions because he thinks he can do it without any repercussion, just like in the case of Hariri, and like the case of killing thousands of Yemenis and starving the entire population with no reaction from the international community.
But Sabah Jose, I know you disagree with what is being said, but there are certain facts here.
Completely.
The first fact is that Jamal al-Khashoggi left Saudi Arabia a year ago because he feared for his own safety, and he said it wasn't a place where you could speak your mind anymore. Another fact is that he entered that consulate shortly after 1 p.m. on October 2nd, and he never came out or was never seen after that. The Saudis are saying he came out from a back door, but why would he if his fiancée was waiting from the front and any visitor comes in and out from the front door?
This is naive, and this is primitive. Thinking. You can't say that everything is fact. You've seen the pictures, so it could be fabricated. Let me remind you, and remind my colleagues in London. You remember the Blair dossier back before the Iraq invasion, the 45 minutes attack. Saddam Hussein will attack Britain in 45 minutes. Saddam Hussein has weapons of mass destruction. Saddam Hussein has links with Al Qaeda, and there's nothing there. So it's easy. It's easy to fabricate things. It's intelligence. This is one. The other thing, if you want to ask me, if you want to tell me that there are some Saudi Arabia have done this before, no, this is not true. Please say the truth, okay? The truth is the only truth is the poor Khashoggi is not there. The truth is Khashoggi is not there. He's been kidnapped from outside, not because he is dissident or he's against his government. No. The most important reason, there are many reasons. He is against, the militias of Iran in Syria. He is supporting the Saudi war against the outlawed Houthi in Yemen. The Saudi, and so he's always with his government. But the self-imposed exile in USA, that's fair enough. He's got very good friendship with His Excellency Amir Khalid, the ambassador of Saudi Arabia in USA, and he's got so many contacts with everybody in Saudi Arabia till now. So there is no reason whatsoever to assassinate him or to terminate him or abduct him whatsoever. There is a conspiracy. He's being kidnapped from outside the embassy. He's being kidnapped.
So in your view, if he's been kidnapped from outside the embassy, by whom?
By the third party, as Akhtan says. A third party. The deep state. The deep state, he said it very clearly. Why don't take this as a fact? He said that the deep state, okay, and the other thing.
Okay, let me just bring in.
The most information.
Yeah, one second. I'm just going to want to bring in.
The most information came from his. from his fiancée, and fiancée has got very suspicious contacts and links with top governments in Qatar, top government in Hamas, top governments in Oman, top governments in Turkey, and she's got so many relations, suspicious relations with the Brotherhood arenas in London.
Let me bring in Chris. I know it's all we are speculating here, but it is a fascinating story, if not grim somehow. So you have this man who goes to the consulate to get a divorce certificate. Now, if we listen to what was leaked in the
I'm not giving up on my family.
Turkish media, also in some of the U.S. media, these 15 hit squad men are some of them are special forces, intelligence officers, National Guards, and a forensic expert. They come in with vans, no luggage apparently, and they leave with luggage, and some of them head to the residence of the general consul. Now, in your view, if you were investigating this, what what would be credible or not credible for you? And also, just a little detail, the consulate says that the CCTV cameras on that day didn't record anything. Is that plausible or not?
Well, I mean, all these things go towards circumstantial evidence that says something very unusual has happened. Of course, it doesn't mean to say he's been murdered and chopped up, as I think has been mentioned, and taken back to Saudi Arabia. It doesn't mean that, but it points in a direction, particularly as this has been announced. And I don't think you would announce something like this, certainly the Turkish government would announce something like this, if they didn't have some other information which is leading them in that direction. So I think in the fullness of time, we'll find out exactly what's happened. As I said, it's very difficult to conduct an investigation in an embassy because it is part of Saudi Arabia, so they don't have to supply access to any investigation team. But I think there'll be a lot more known about this, and I think that's what will come out bit by bit, as we've seen with the Russian Skripal attempted murders. Then information intelligence gets leaked out over the next few months and years, and we will eventually find this out. I think the chances of anything ever coming to a court case is pretty much zero. It's happened in an embassy anyway, so it'd be unprecedented for that to end up in a court case. But of course, it's really important, and it's important for the country, for the people, that we can't allow this sort of stuff to go on. If what we're saying has happened, then that just is not acceptable, and it needs to be stopped. And we seem to be moving into an era where countries are doing things really outrageous actions that we haven't seen for many years. So you know, there are other possibilities that could have happened, and the Turkish police will want to investigate those, but getting access to the embassy is going to be impossible. But I would say there's other bits that might be useful as well. So any CCTV cameras of the area, not just attached to the embassy, there'll be other cameras about. CCTV cameras in the airports where they've been travelling through, and of course on the route as well. So there's lots of other evidence that can be collected, but the difficulties for the investigators are enormous.
Well, some CCTV footage has already been released, and it has to be said that the Saudis have agreed for a Turkish investigation team to go into the consulate building. Now, Adil Ahmed, just briefly, because we're going to reach the end of the program very soon, it's very difficult to reach any conclusions, but I think the bigger picture in all of this is that you have a Saudi regime at the moment who is not accepting any kind of critique, even though Jamal Khashoggi has always said that he was not in the opposition and he was not in the dissent camp. But it's a bit scary if any of this comes out to be true, that they could be so far-reaching.
Yeah, I think Jamal was a loyalist. He says that he has loyalty and allegiance to the king. He was critical of MBS, but this makes it even more dangerous for him because the MBS and the Saudi monarchy in general does not want to have or give ideas to its followers that they can defect or criticize, because if they don't send a strong message that you cannot do that and you'll pay a heavy price if you do, then they will have a wave of defection. So that makes it more dangerous than being just a dissident like myself. And I was a target myself for abduction and other activities, hacking, spying, you name it. The reality is, what I wanted to add is that I think the police, don't cut me off, behave please. The police should look at, I know they cannot go inside, behave please. So it's that they could look at refuse, the garbage. If you kill somebody, you need to put a huge piece of plastic, and that's very hard to get rid of plastic. So the plastic might have gone with the trash, with the garbage. You know, they can. In the case of Russia here, when they had to evacuate the consulate in San Francisco, they burned stuff. So if there is a fire in the fireplace, that will people in this time of the year, people will notice that there is a fire, they're burning plastic or wood or something else. So these things have to look at that because they can find evidence, I think.
I think, well, now all eyes are on the investigation in Istanbul, but also everybody from the White House through the EU and around the world want to get more clarification from the Saudi government. That will probably take a few days, if not a few weeks to come, but we have reached the end of this show. So thanks to all our guests, Ali Al-Ahmed, Chris Philip, and Sabah Al-Khuzai. And thank you too for watching. You can see the program again anytime by visiting our website, aljazeera.com. And for further discussion, go to our Facebook page. That's facebook.com/AJ Inside Story. You can also join the conversation on Twitter. Our handle is at AJ Inside Story. For me, Hada Abdel Hamid, and the whole team here in Doha, bye for now.
What y'all think? That motherfucker dead, bro?
Real story for you, Jingo. Man with the golden gun, Fantasy Island. The plan!
They done smoked my man, yo. That motherfucker dead, bro. So they done got his ass and chop him up in itty bitty pieces. I say the motherfuckers came in there with no luggage and they left out with bags. What y'all come to pick up? Who did y'all come to pick up, should I say? Cause y'all ain't had them bags when y'all came in here. Now ain't that some shit? This is what I be talking about, man. Oh, look at what's going on in Chicago and this and that and and gang violence. No. Y'all want to see some gangster shit? That's gangster shit. You murder somebody inside an embassy, that's gangster. That's real hardcore, cold-blooded gangster shit right there, yo. You send your own bodyguard. So I want a real first-hand eyewitness account of what went down. You go with them. Ooh boy, I'm getting hungry, guys. About to go have me some barbecue chicken. It's getting cold, but I cooked on the grill last night. I grilled some steak, and I ate that for dinner. But then I had just threw some chicken wings on there. Now I'm gonna go eat those. Beirut looking ass. Alright. I was out the house early this morning. That's why I ain't getting no early morning stream in, but I'll definitely, I should be able to stream in the morning. I don't have anything planned that early. Project Blue Book. What was Blue Book? Oh, UFO series? New UFO drama series, Project Blue Book, first look.
The U.S. and...
I haven't seen it. I kept thinking about Blue Beam, Project Blue Beam. I might have to go check that out while I eat dinner. I don't know, man. I still think if aliens ever came here, they're not visiting now. I don't know. If there was proof, it'd be real legit proof. But everything is always so sketchy, and the footage is always so grainy, and the cameraman is so shaky. And it's like, is this really going on? Eddie Bravo? Yo, that's my man, though. Eddie Bravo, crazy. Alright, guys, let me go grab something to eat, man. I had a fucking busy-ass morning, so I didn't stream this morning. Because that ray of light, I might have to take a picture like this. Oh. But, yeah, I'll be back here in the morning, man. I'm tired as hell, too. Alien too busy in an orgy with Bigfoot. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I don't know, dude. Every culture all across the world talks about gods that came from the sky. That's like a common theme in almost every culture, every religion, every creation story is like our God came from the stars. It's weird as shit. Like, it's so hard to prove that shit. Peace. Till next time.